Hello art friends. Today we are going to be making a cow skull painting inspired by the artist Georgia O'Keeffe. Here is one of her paintings, the cow skull in red, white, and blue, and here is another one, cow skull with calico roses. So she did this Western art style things. All you're going to need today is some paint and a paper. You need to have some kind of color scheme. You can do neutral. I chose to do brights. I mixed my brights with a little bit of beige paint so that they're not super bright. And then I painting them on with blobs. I don't want them to mix too much or blend too much. I want them to stay as blobs. This is called the chaos layer, and this is just going to be the background for our painting. So here I am kind of going over my colors, checking it out, making sure I can see all the colors I want, and then I wanted a little contrast, so I added in some straight dark blue, and I'm going to let that dry completely. And once it is dry, I am going to get a circle maker. Depends on how large you want your cow skull to be. I chose to do a medium size, and I'm using a light colored chalk. So I'll draw a circle first and then an oval at the bottom with a rectangle, and that's where it's going to be the jawline or the nose I should say. I'm adding a rectangle at the top and then forming those in to make the eyes and kind of blend it all down. So once I have this completely sketched out with my chalk, I'm going to go back and I can figure out the things I want to add or change, and I can just erase those with a paper towel, a damp paper towel. And I'm going to take a neutral color. I chose to do a light bluish gray, and I'm going to paint around my chalked in skull. The chalk helps to add like a little barrier, so you don't have to be super careful. Then I'm going to block in where I want the dark areas to be. I'm going to add in a few details with pencil, and I'm going to come back with paint or chalk or even colored pencil would work for this, and fill in those dark areas. For this, I'm showing you with the Sharpie just to kind of show what I added for the dark areas. I'm going to go back with paint, and I actually ended up doing chalk later on that I liked doing a whole lot better. So instead of paint, you may want to do chalk. If you do want to use paint, I would suggest not using straight black. I would use a dark brown, maybe just a little bit of black. You could also just paint in the large sections like the eyes and then the kind of broken area of the nose at the bottom, and do the rest with chalk. So I'm adding in those dark areas. Then I'm going to grab some pieces of chalk. I'm using colors that were in my background that I started with. So dark blue, a dark purple, and a magenta color to add shadows and a few details, and I'm blending those in with my finger. Then I'll come back with a lighter color, my turquoisey teal color, to add a few highlights. And once I have blended that in, I am done. And there you have it. Super cool cow skull painting. Have fun.